This car here once belonged to the F1 legend Jacques Villeneuve, but it's no ordinary Dodge Viper, as the American pros at Hennessy transformed it to Viper Venom 600, the number highlighting the 600 horses under the hood, like the car wasn't dangerous enough already. Viper may not be a classic car by its most traditional definition, but how it has earned its reputation as a widow maker due to its raw and unforgiving nature, with no electronic assist like traction control. This particular car here wants to belong to the F1 legend Jacques Villeneuve. I don't know if I said that correctly. For the last race of the season, he was fighting for the championship against Michael Schumacher, and his not so calculated moves cost him points, which allowed Villeneuve to climb on the standings and win the championship. And as a result, the F1 team sponsor, tobacco company called Rothmans, wanted to show their appreciation to the driver as a small gift. Fast driver needs a fast car, and what would be better gift than a 8-liter V10 pushrod engine in an American sports car. The V10 engine is absurdly long, but it was originally designed by Chrysler for much larger cars, for example Dodge pickup trucks. But why to reinvent the wheel again, or do you know, the engine? So they just figured, why not to put this in a sports car? Lifting the engine cover is almost a two-man job. There's this massive engine cover. When the car left the factory, it already had 450 horsepower and around 660 Newton meters of torque, and that was already impressive at the 90s, and it still is. But before giving this car to Villeneuve, they sent this one to the tuning specialists at Hennessy, and they put a little bit of their own spice there and pumped out 600 horsepower. This thing escapes. The car was designed to go really fast, so why not remove all the unnecessary extras like anti-lock brakes and stability control? But with the car it's fun that with the 6-speed manual transmission you feel like you're in control, like the most of the time you are, until you're not. With the performance, it's a V10 out of 10. See what I did there? It's pretty responsive. You know, if I pull it, it actually pulls, which makes it kind of fun. That was 120 in that time. Gear ratio is strange. You can go 120 on the second gear. So I don't know how fast it goes with the 5th gear. And I'm not here to test it. And for some reason, I've been driving this on this track for like half an hour, and the gear lever, it gets hot somewhere here. Oh! As you can tell, the suspension is pretty stiff. And it sounds more worse than it actually is, because there is no sound insulation or whatsoever in this car. It's a high-performance car in its purest sense, and the only safety feature in this car is the healthy fear of crashing, as they have stripped all the way the unnecessary distractions. Throughout the years, Americans have excelled in making automatic transmissions, but with the manuals, they have sometimes missed the mark. There's always been something a little bit off about them. But in this case, the clutch feels natural, and if I dare to say, easy. I think it might be with the collaboration with Lamborghini that happened earlier. While there is nothing electronic helping you while braking, at least they have made the brakes so powerful so they match the car's high performance capabilities. But the thing with high power engine is that they usually are not that good to drive in the city center. It's also same case with this one. You really cannot find the right gear. The engine has so much torque and the first gear is so oddly long, so little tap on the throttle gives you too much power. If you're just cruising and taking it easy, the car does feel powerful, but not overwhelmingly so. But that's when you get in trouble if you start pushing your limits without the right skill set. With no electronic aids to helping the driver or preventing wheel spin, it's really easy to overpower the rear tires, leading to spins and even in the worst case, loss of control. The car is made for high-speed performance, and in those high speeds, any small mistake even can become fatal. But in the right hands, this is really fun car to drive if you're just craving for that genuine connection with the car. I really have mixed feelings about the rating because I love the high power V10 engine, but I really want to love the ease of driving, so for drivability I give it a 6 out of 10. And if the driving characteristics and engine hasn't amazed you yet, let's talk about these looks. As you can tell, like half of the car is just wood, thanks to that massive V10 engine. And then the thing with the side windows is that you cannot roll them up or down, but at least the roof is removable, so you can get some air flowing. And as I mentioned earlier, they have stripped away all the unnecessary extras, which means also the door handles, like proper door handles. There is an electronic switch here because the door locks are all electronic except the trunk. And what's interesting, for an American car, it's relatively small, but for modern standards it's still quite large. The company who gifted the car to Villeneuve wanted to add their own personal touch to the car, so the graphics you can see here are inspired the company Rothmans. And I really like the idea that they still kept the graphics to highlight the car's motorsport heritage. The car's appearance is something unique to every enthusiast to recognize and adore at the same time. It gives off a more traditional sports car look, but it's a little bit more aggressive and for sure living for its name Viper. It embraces the minimalistic approach and focuses more on what truly matters, which is performance. That's why I give the looks 9 out of 10. Like everything else in this car, also the interior has been designed as performance as the top priority and keeping the weight as low as possible. The only storage space they put in this car is a glove box, and even that is barely usable. As you can see, the door panel is set quite high. I don't know if the seat is pretty low, but it's pretty hard for taller people to get inside the car. Okay, for me as a short person, I can fit in here pretty nicely, but the problem comes when I take the seat as close as I can. To reach the clutch pedal properly in the bottom, I really need to lay low, and now I can push it properly, and I still need to use kind of my tiptoes to get in there. And if I'm laying low like this, the steering wheel is directly in my sight, so I need to kind of be like this. I think I look like a grandma when I'm driving this, but it's only because I cannot reach properly. So I think this car would be perfect for you slender people around 180 centimeters tall. Also, one problem with the car. This area here gets really hot because the exhaust pipe runs under this, and there is even a warning attention to saying that exhaust pipe below door opening. When these cars were new, the selling price was relatively low compared to other sports car, and I don't know if that's the reason they have been using this same cheap plastic they have been using in the other 90s Chrysler cars. It's a sports car and you have to beat an engine, so I really know you want to hear the engine. I also want to hear it, but with this car you can also hear everything else going around the car. As there is no sound insulation in the floor, as you can hear, and I don't think they have been using that in anywhere else either. As I was driving at the track, the seats are really good for its intended purpose, and I like that how there is every information needed in the customer panel. And I think that's something that is still in the modern American cars that I really appreciate as a mechanic. As the car in whole, it's designed for raw performance, prioritizing function over form. As its lack of modern nice things, it might leave some enthusiasts cold, but staying true to the roots and for its intended purpose. That's why I give the interior a nice 6 out of 10. If this sparked any desire to own this beast or you want to rent it for ultimate driving experience, visit sontacracing.com. You'll find this car along with other alternatives if 600 horses sounds a little bit too much for you to handle. The thing with Vipers is that it's like they are almost designed to not make any sense. The owners know that, and it's something that cannot be explained, and that's what makes them fascinating and fun. Its reputation of danger became a part of its mystique, and we're here for it. It's all about that heart-pounding excitement, and if you're ready to embrace the chaos, the car is waiting to deliver an unforgettable ride. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more classics with interesting backgrounds and different challenges. See you next time. Bye! One funny thing that I don't know, we don't have the AC on it. There is AC, I think. We haven't been trying it. I don't feel like I really want to put this on because mä laitan vähän puhallusta päälle tänne. Kuumaa!